Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first ever episode of my new channel, and we've got a name for it now. It's called Off the Charts. Well, you're wondering what that name means. Well, my buddy Pascal came up with it there. Charts is a play on my last name, Chartrand, and pretty much what I'm going to be discussing is stuff that is not on the charts. You know, like what I like I said, is not really chart-friendly stuff. So what the first episode today is going to be about, I'm just going to start with what I know. Not very original, but, go with what you know for a first one here. I'm going to be ranking all the Kiss studio albums. Just letting you know, I do like them all, okay? Some I like better than others, obviously, so this is why the ranking here will come into effect. I'm not going to be ranking the live albums, the greatest hits albums, or the solo albums. If I did the solo albums, we all know which one would be last, right? So, anyway, here goes. This is my top, I don't know, I forget how many albums they have, but here's my ranking of all the Kiss studio albums, and little story maybe with it going a while here. So, in last place, I would say, would be this one, Circus. I mean, we were all excited when this came out, but the songs, some are good. Like, Journey of a Thousand Years has probably got to be one of the better songs they've ever done. Not really a Kiss song per se, but it's an epic song. Circus, I'm a little tired of hearing, but I still like it a lot. Within, very good too. Just like I finally found my way with Peter Criss there. Sorry, but that one just doesn't work. And even You Wanted the Best is just cringes like cheese a little bit there. But anyway, still good stuff on this here, but it's my least favorite. So next one, maybe a bit surprised for some people here, but it would be from 1984, Kiss Animalize. Now the reason this is so low is I call this, it's like the Motley Crue album, Girls, Girls, Girls. It's well camouflaged with a really good hit single. Okay, like Wild Side, I believe, and whatever. Anyway, this one's got 9 songs on it. It's got the infamous Burn Bitch Burn song. We all remember the lyrics there. I want to put my log in your fireplace. Funny, but yeah, well. But the Gene songs on this are really not up to par. Like While the City Sleeps and Murder in High Heels, okay, but there's some really good songs. I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. That is a kick-ass song. But like I said, yeah, just well camouflaged album with a huge hit single with Heaven's on Fire. But the rest, 9 songs, and 3 or 4 of them were like, yeah, just okay there. Next one, Hot in the Shade. This does, like I said, this does have a lot of good stuff on it. My complaint about it is there's like so many songs, like near the end, like Boomerang, I'm sorry, but no. Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell, again, nah. But Gene Simmons is starting to get his touch back on this one here. Cadillac Dreams, that's a song and a half. I love that song. Read My Body, that's another great song too. A little bit Def Leppard-ish there. Rise to It, I love this one here. Like I said, it's a good album, just a tad long. But anyway, that's my opinion. If you're in a disagreement, you can always comment below. Next one would be from 1980. This one right here, Unmasked. I mean, it's nice to see Ace, and he's got about as much songs as Paul does. Well, he's got, I think there's only 2 Gene songs on this here, Naked City and She's So European. Well, sort of, anyway. It's good. Love the cover. I absolutely love this album cover here. But a little too poppy at times. It's got great pop songs like Is That You? And especially Tomorrow. Tomorrow screams hit song big time. But like I said, good album. Not what I always play for when I want to hear some Kiss. Next up here would be this baby here. This one also has people divided on this. And I'll remember, I did buy the bootleg of this at the time. which was missing the Bruce Kulick song. But I remember going to my friend Pascal's, and my friend Yan was there too, and we're listening to this with our mouths go like, what is this here? Like, this is not Kiss. Would this have been popular had they not decided to do the reunion? Who knows? Very grungy. I do love, like, there's great songs on this, but like Rain, I don't like that one. I Confess I do love a lot. Bruce Kulick has a great song called I Walk Alone too. It's great stuff. And ballad-wise, I Will Be There. Wow, this screams like, wow. It's very, you could see Paul was really wanting to write that song as good as he wants, as good as he can. But yeah, this would be it's good, but three little dots. It's not always what's on my turntable. Next one here might surprise people as why it's solo, and I'll tell you why. Would be this one here. Good songs on this. What I don't like about it is there's two things. Strange Ways. I'm sorry, but I've never liked that song. Apparently, non-Kiss fans love that song because it's like heavy and dark. But the recording on this, the sound is, it's too muffled, and the guitars, I don't know, I don't like the sound of this album. But it's of the earlier ones, it's probably the one I play the least. And the cover, I don't like the cover. It's too cut and paste almost there at the time, but I don't know. It's good, but the recording of it is not that great, I find there. But next up would be this one here, Dynasty. A little like Animalize. Only got 9 songs on it. Only 2 Gene songs. But mind you, the 2 Gene songs are fucking awesome. Charisma and X-Ray Eyes. Those are great. And you know what? I love I Was Made for Loving You. This is not Kiss Goes Disco. They did one disco song, but this is not a disco album. I'm sorry. This still rocks. It's both not as hard as the earlier stuff, but again, just because there's only 9 songs on this, there's not much on it there, but the Gene songs on this, A1. Next up would be from 1986, I believe. 1987, actually. Sorry, my mistake. This one gets a lot of flack for having too many keyboards or wimped out, but man, the songs are so good. I remember, going to my buddy Yan's house and singing to these, or airbanding at the time for these songs. Crazy Crazy Nights. It's a great song. Very, extremely catchy. You can see they were trying to go for a hit here. Gene songs, too, are actually a little bit better here on this one. I love Hell or High Water is probably my favorite of Gene on this one here. No, No, No is heavy, but man, they do not do it justice live. It's not very good live, I find. There's great stuff on here. Oh, and Turn on the Nights. This song, I liked it when I was young, but I love it now. It's so catchy and good. But anyway, it's not as bad as people tell you it is. So I like this. I did like this a lot. It brings back a lot of good memories here. Next up, we all know what usually is Kiss's least favorite album by people, so I'm putting it right here. I actually like this one. It's got some good stuff on this here. The Oath, An Escape from the Island never gets mentioned enough. Okay, I love. It's a great instrument. It's an instrumental, but I love that song, man. It's the only thing I don't really like. Odyssey should have been sung by somebody else, by Paul. Under the Rose, good, but again, it sounds like something from Hotter Than Hell. It's all muffled, the sound, but like I said, I enjoy this one. If you want something different by Kiss, serious, give this one a spin. It's actually pretty decent here. Next up would be this one from 1974, I believe. Anyway, we'll get the dates sorted out later. This is actually a very good album. It would be okay if I never hear the version of Rock and Roll All Night that's on this record, but the deep cuts on this here, love that song. Lover All I Can too. That's actually an old Wicked Lester song. Actually, She and Lover All I Can are both old Wicked Lester songs, which was Kiss before they were Kiss. So now, but yeah, this one's good. A little poppier than Hotter Than Hell in the first one. But again, a very, very solid album here. Love this one a lot too. Surprise, surprise, their last album, Monster. This one has no duds, like no ballads, no duds on this. These are all great songs here. My favorite probably, I would say Long Way Down. Out of This World is great. Last Chance on this is my favorite song. Again, a deep cut. Nobody ever talks about this one here. But here we are, Monster right here. Next up would be another classic album, Love Gun. I like this album a lot. Then She Kissed Me. I could have done without that silly cover, but Tomorrow and Tonight was like Shout It Out Loud and Rock and Roll Night Part 3, I guess now at this point. But Almost Human. You guys got to listen to that. Like, it's, wow, it's a different Kiss song. Heavy for the time, too. Also, Ace Frehley sings his first ever Kiss song here, Shock Me, which is based on, if you don't know the story, he electrocuted himself while holding a railing while starting a show, and anyway, he's fine now, obviously, there. Funny story about this here. I remember my friend Steph here telling me, oh yeah, I got this album here by Kiss. I don't know the name, but it's got a lot of marble on it. Yeah, this is what you guys notice first is the marble, not the 4 characters or the scantily clad ladies here, but the marble. Anyway, funny story from when I was in high school, I guess. Next up would be this guy here. I remember back in Kirkland Lake where I grew up. And by the way, kudos to my neighbor Jacques, who actually introduced me to this band way back in Kirkland Lake. So thank you. I'm still alive and still liking these guys as much as before. But yeah, I remember going to the store and finding this, and I'm like, oh my god, this must be Gene Simmons, obviously, because you don't know who. This is the first one you saw that how they look like. I assumed this was Paul because of the pouting. I knew this was Eric Carr. I assumed this was Ace Frehley at the time because I didn't know. There's no internet in 1983. I didn't know he had left the band or whatnot. But anyway, great album. My favorites probably Not for the Innocent. Look it up. I like that song still. It's 1,000,000 to 1. Wow. All Hell's Breaking Loose, where Paul sort of raps and actually works. And this is where my friend Yan got his nickname, I Am the Breeze. But yeah, great album here. Next up, this one. Man, I went with my buddy Steph to Detroit to see the Alive 35 tour, which is, I think, no, this is the Monster tour. I have another shirt somewhere, Alive 35. And they played Modern Delilah live for the first time at that show. Maybe I'm in the video, maybe I'm not, but I know they did film the video for that song at that arena. And if you see in the video for Modern Day Delilah and the live footage, you'll see Paul Stanley get mad when he's on that little stage by himself. He'll get mad because his mic wasn't working and he hits it. I was there for that, so I do remember that actually did happen. So Kiss Sonic Boom, again, no duds, again, no ballads on this one too. Same with Monster, no ballads on this one. So yeah, good stuff right here. A very good comeback album, if I must say here. Next up, we're getting into the last 6 here. So these ones are really like these albums here. One I think you may be surprised to hear, but anyway, here goes. So next up here would be Revenge. I remember when Unholy came out and I had told my friend Pascal, I'm like, oh, you gotta listen to the new Kiss. Like, it's different but good and cool. And I remember everybody hearing Unholy for the first time. They're all like, this is Kiss? Not as dramatic as the Carnival of Souls issue, but anyway. Again, this great album here. I love like Unholy. Tough Love, probably my least favorite of the album. Domino, great songs. And of course, you got the Car Jam drum solo with part of Breakout, which was a Frehley's Comet song. I can probably drum you the whole song Air Band like from A to Z. I know it that much by heart. But yeah, this was actually after Hot in the Shade when this came out. Everybody was like, "Wow, these guys mean business." Very good album, considered by lots to be their best one of the non-makeup era. I disagree, but you'll see why soon. Next up would be Kiss's first one. I mean, you look at the list of songs on this here, and almost every song is on Kiss Alive 1. Mind you, I do prefer the versions on Kiss Alive 1. Pretty much any Kiss song I like better the versions on Alive or Alive 2. Especially Alive 2. Not Alive 3, that's another story there. But yeah, this is great. Like this, I got no complaints about this one too, man. 100,000 Years, that's a great song here. There's also the Kissin' Time, which was not on the... It's a cover. I forget by who there, and some 50s guy there. But anyway, the first printing did not have Kissin' Time. But of course, the record company wanted something maybe known. And of course, it's sunk. Nobody even remembers Kissin' Time being on this or not there. So, but anyway, great first album here. Next up would be, of course, this is probably Kiss's most popular album, Destroyer. Now, I've got the resurrected version when I bought this on vinyl, because I bought this version. I have this on 8-track, on cassette, on CD. So I said, when I got the vinyl, I said, I'll get the new resurrected version, which has an original guitar solo on Sweet Pain by Ace Frehley, because I think the other one was done by... oh my God, the guy from Alice Cooper, I forget his name there. Dick Wagner, that's it. But yeah, the Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder. Did you guys know that God of Thunder was composed by Paul Stanley, but sung by Gene on this album? Apparently they were making fun of Paul, saying, "Oh, you always make goody two-shoe fun songs." Oh yeah, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to write a friggin' heavy song. Yeah, God of Thunder it is. Flaming Youth, great. Shout It Out Loud. I still love that song. I'm never going to get tired of this one here. But anyway, this is considered their best one. It's my fourth. So, all right, now we're getting to the last three here. And this, I think there's going to be one surprise here for people. So number 3 would be this beauty. First of all, I love the cover on this one here. But man, the drums, you got to listen. You got to hear the drums, because when this came out, Kiss were not really popular anymore. They had done Dynasty, which people would say, it's too disco. Unmasked, which was too poppy. The Elder, which was a total flop. Sorry. Need some Grand Marnier to... Anyway. Yeah, they were dead in the water, man, when this came out. So, like, you know what? We need to make a statement. But the drums are like, you got your guitars and your drum sound is like way high there. Listen to I Love It Loud. You'll know what I mean here. Creatures of the Night is so like great. This is a pretty heavy album too, actually. You know what? There's nothing I don't like on this album. Like this is a great album here. Danger, Rock and Roll Hell, Keep Me Coming. I still love you. Probably my least favorite, but I still like that song a lot. But yeah, Creatures of the Night at number 3. Number 2, which probably will be a surprise, but I'll explain why. 1985's Asylum. Now, this is probably the first album of Kiss I bought myself with my own money, but when an album, when you get a new release, a new album came out. Usually I always got, past albums when they are already, out for a couple of years. This was my first one that I bought when it first came out. I love Trial by Fire is great. Tears Are Falling. I remember doing a double take when I first heard this one here all night. Silly song, but man, it's so good. Radar for Love, so good too. I remember getting this on cassette back in 1985 on a weekend. And I said to myself, I'm going to go to school on Monday and show off to my friend Yan here about this one. Sure enough, he comes out of the bus stop with his Walkman on, and he's air singing me, I'm Alive. I'm like, fuck, he's got the album too. So much for that surprise. But anyway, I know a lot of people don't like this one as much, but you got to remember some of these albums too, like why I like them and all that. There's got good memories attached to it. I remember exactly, I was in my driveway listening to a tape recorder, playing with my neighbors, I think, and listening to this album and going, wow. And especially when Tears Are Falling came out, I was like, wow, that's a good song. But yeah, this is great. And like I said, brings back lots of great memories. And like I said, number 2. So number 1, obviously there's not much, but there's one left. So here we go. I've had this for such a long time, and I absolutely love this album. 10 out of 10. Every song is good here, man. Love 'Em, Leave 'Em. Love that song. Hard Luck Woman, probably one of their better ballads that Kiss has ever done here. Making Love. Take Me has got such a riff and a half on this song here. Calling Dr. Love, I will say, everybody who knows me sometimes even calls me Dr. Love. Or was my passwords at work for a whole bunch of times. But that's a dumb story to talk about another day there. But Dr. Love, Calling Dr. Love is my favorite, not just my favorite Kiss song, it's my favorite song of all time. So yeah, like, again, this one from A to Z, and you can see there's a lot of wear and tear on this one. Had this one for a while, and still plays awesome. So here you go. That's my ranking of the Kiss, my Kiss ranking albums from my least favorite to my favorite. Like I said, I don't think they made a bad album. If you feel like commenting and tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right, go ahead and place some comments, and I'll reply to them. And I'm going to try to make at least an episode here once a week, at least. Maybe more. We'll see how fun this is going to be here. But next up, I got an idea. But like I said, we'll see when it will become for real here. So anyway, for now, again, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please tell your friends. Subscribe some more. And like or don't like what you see here. These are my opinions. It's just, like I said, just an opinion. I'm sure other people have other different opinions on this here. But like I said, give me a shout. Tell me what you think. And I'll see you guys next episode. Thank you again for watching. And cheers.